Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in this world, welcome. So now we are on day two, the day two of the challenge, and our day today is focus. So I'd love you to say hello, let me know in the group if you're joining me live here, tell me where you're hailing from, and what you're enjoying about the challenge so far. What did you learn in day one? I'm curious. What did you learn about the day one refresh? I know that some of you haven't contributed into the group yet, into the home play for day one. I'd encourage you to do so. We'll be announcing tomorrow that we'll have some draws and prizes to be won for those of you that are engaging. So please, I invite you not to sit on the sidelines, to actually print out the workbooks or read the workbooks, listen to the workbooks, and have a go at answering the questions. Post up your answers in the group. I'm here to support you and to help you through this journey, as is everyone else that's here. So let's get into it. Day two is focus. So what's the scoop? What is it about focus, really? I think there's many ways that I could talk about this. So are bright, shiny objects sucking your time and focus? I know for me, this happened for such a long time. I would be so distracted like a magpie. Ooh, shiny thing. Ooh, shiny thing. Ooh, shiny thing, darting everywhere, here and there. And a lot of it is my eye energy. When you understand energies as well, which is a totally different subject, but my eye energy is very high, so I can easily get distracted in things as well, which it doesn't help when you're trying to run a business or you look after yourself or different things. A lot of things get pull you in lots of different directions. And there's lots of tips out there and tricks, and here's a few of mine, if you like, to manage distractions. Why? Because it happens to all of us. There are so many distractions in life. It can be so hard to stay focused on important things, once we get stuck down that distraction route. And I have to be vigilant, excuse me, in the morning, and actually in the afternoon too as well, to make sure that I'm making the most of my time. I call it AWST time management, and that's I've done separate classes on that. You can check them out on YouTube, or if you're interested to know more, drop a comment here, one of the team, and they'll remind me, and we'll put it onto the schedule. I can run that class again. It's a free class. Anyone can come along and join. It's learning all about AWST time management, which is, it's actually very, very important, and I think it's a nice little trick to help you stay focused. We call it distraction to action. The latest trend that's taking over time management is actually attention management. That's what seems to be happening, and really it's all about managing your focus, being mindful about what you're doing, and identifying what's getting in the way. So I think those things that we innately do, because when I found out that it only takes it can take up to 26 minutes to regain your focus after distraction. 26 minutes, that's quite huge. And I think, when I dug into it more and came up with this AWST time management system, how much time and productivity I gained, it was amazing. It's 1 to 2 hours a day. 1 to 2 hours a day, I found that I had more to spend on the things that I needed to get done, which as a result meant I had more me time, more family time, more time to do different things. So because so many of us in recovery, we tend to focus externally. When we actually use the term in recovery, but it's really around, we're starting to have awareness. We've gone into the refresh mode. We're starting to look at, have an awareness around things, what's happening to us, what we believe in that might be holding us back, where our challenges are coming from. So when we're focusing externally, the first thing you may notice is that you feel that like your worth comes from the outside, not the inside. And the second thing you may notice is because it's quite uncomfortable to focus on ourselves. It's because nobody ever focused on us before. Not truly, not like this. And isn't it a wonderful gift you're going to give yourself by doing this, by focusing on you? Especially when so often we simply don't know how to focus on ourselves. And there are some reasons for this. These are the reasons that I believe have come up, when I work with clients and, different things. These are the normal things that come to attention or fruition, if you like. So because we don't know who we are or what we're supposed to focus on, it's because we don't want to be exposed and vulnerable. And vulnerable's sexy, let's get vulnerable together. It's really sexy. It's confident. It's you're getting curious. And it's a beautiful gift. I say, well, more gifts to give yourself, these traits that you can really embrace and become your own purposeful warrior. It's because we're often filled with shame as well. Thinking of ourselves often triggers a bad feeling or a memory. So we just choose not to go there. We keep the door closed, the manhole covered. We don't want to dig down that tunnel of shame and darkness. But there's a beautiful light at the bottom. It's a beautiful light down there. It's just waiting to come out. So I encourage you to dig deep, to bring out the shame from the shadows. Because as children, in order to get approval, we had to focus externally to survive. We had to, I guess, do the bidding of our, caregivers. And there's no right, wrong, judgment, blame, anything like that here. I'm just, telling it how it was or how it is. It was for me. And, we sort of learn to sacrifice ourselves for others, because this is how we do, this is how we survive. We have our primal needs met, those needs of shelter, of food, have to be kept in such a way. And it's, again, because we don't know any other way, our brains are conditioned early on to abandon ourselves and focus on others. This is what society does to us. We get stuck in this life of servitude, because society will only work, as we know it, when the majority of us, the majority of the population, stays in this life of servitude and lack. And for me, that's not for me. I don't want that life. I'm one of the 3 to 5% that is actually doing things differently, and I want that for you too. And I'm sure many of you are already on this road. And it's often because we think that we focus on ourselves a lot, but actually our primary focus on others. So it's our mind tricking ourselves. We think that we're doing it, but the reality is that we're not. And the problem is that when we're focusing on other people, when we're blaming instead of taking ownership, then we're just delaying our own progress. And it's time to wake up, folks. It's time to wake up. I think you already have the awareness. You already know there's something to be done differently, or you wouldn't be here. So it's time to reawaken even more. I'm going to have a drink of my conscious juice. Because we can't get ahead if we're going to stay stuck. If we stay stuck on the merry-go-round of denial, blame, and projection, it's not possible. In order to heal, in order to transform, in order to grow, in order to get to the next level, mentally and emotionally, we must deal with the truth. We must be friendly with the facts. We must focus on ourselves. So here's my question for you right now. Will you focus on you? Is that a yes? Give me a thumbs up, show me some love. Because it takes focused effort to focus on you. Focused effort, I hear you saying. What is focused effort? Well, focused effort is where we refocus your thoughts onto yourself. Where we refocus your conversations onto yourself. When we refocus your actions onto yourself. So focused effort means that to catch yourself when you're slipping back into external control, or when you're daydreaming, when you're telling yourself that perhaps life wasn't all that bad, and deep down that it was. When you're perhaps, crying about a past relationship, or wallowing in self-pity, or lying to yourself about what really went on to make yourself feel better. So instead of doing these things, you redirect your thoughts back to yourself. So when you find yourself focusing on someone else's issues, if you're worried about whether someone likes you or not, whether they approve of you, whether you're working non-stop, not taking breaks, doing it the best you can for your employer, your job, you're just over broke, if you like, that's a whole different story. It takes time to strengthen the neural pathways in your brain. It does. It's not a one fix, easy pill, to take. It's a process. It's a habit. And yet eventually, it will become more natural to you to focus on yourself more than outside parties. It's just something that we need to learn. It's new often for a lot of people when we start this work. There is a saying that I love that, and you may know it, is, practice makes perfect. Well, actually, it's not right, because practice makes permanent. Let me say that again. Practice makes permanent. So be wary, be careful what you practice, because what you practice makes permanent in your mind, in your brain. Because your brain is just doing the bidding of what you are doing yourself, because it feels that that's the safest route to keep you safe. So practice makes permanent. So be careful the practices that you have, the habits that you have, because they become a permanent part of things until you do the work to change. But the payoff is that you have a place from which to start to build a new identity, that of a functionally selfish human being. This is why we're all here. And to write a new story of how life will go from now on. The more consistent you are with this initially, and the more work that you do, the more decorations you will create internally. And I call these decorations things like gratitude, self-compassion, self-love, self-trust, self-belief. They're all available in, multicolors, textures, designs. So get creative with your internal redecorating. That's my invitation to you. And more importantly, keep moving forward. If we hold on to what's old, now dated, no longer nurturing or fulfilling, we block our future. We can't achieve what we want to achieve when we're held back by all of these things. And yes, it's not easy to let go. I get that. There is no magic pill. We keep saying that it all takes work. It's the doing, the action. Yet if what we have is no longer fulfilling, then to stay hopeful for fulfillment to return puts us in a lack of movement. We stagnate. And when we stagnate, our hopes become our dope, basically. And it might take a little while to understand that. But our hopes become our dope because we keep daydreaming. And that's what keeps us going. We daydream, we hope for this, hope for that, hope for something will change, something will, trigger. Yet when we move forward, we want to let go of wanting people to become better versions of themselves, and we commit to being a better version of ourselves. So we put ourselves first. This is what functionally selfish is. Doesn't mean that you don't care about anyone, that you're not going to help anybody, that you're not going to show compassion for others. That's not what we're talking about. It's changing ourselves is the whole purpose. Because when life changes, we have to believe that great things are about to happen. Because those that know me will know change is growth. The change, the anagram I have, is the chance to have a new growth experience. And if we're not green and growing, then we're ripe and rotting. That's a favorite saying from one of my beautiful mentors, Joe Parney. So much greater than we're living, if it may not show up immediately, but if we commit to loving ourselves, we will be ready. And the new way, which was, I guess, too small and constricting for us to fit, will now fit quite nicely. So it's trying on your functional selfish jacket. When you try it on for the first time, the arms might be tight, it's probably a bit tight across the shoulders, and it doesn't move. But the more that you try it on and you move around in it, you'll find that it fits like a glove. It's meant to be yours. It's meant to be worn proudly. We often stay in the old because we can't see that there's something better will come, and we leave anything because I guess it's the old and the familiar is the grey area, right? You know, we can bounce around between, oh, I'll dip my toe in here, or I'll just sneak back to this side and be more comfortable over here. And when we start this journey, what I found was the grey area of uncertainty. Yes, it's painful, but it's also a place that I no longer wanted to be in. I knew there was more. I could see that bright colour, the beautiful design that I wanted to create through my own internal redecoration. Because without a focus on loving ourselves, I felt like limbo. I felt like I was in a limbo that, you know, when we are here, it's simply a space between the old and the new. If we commit to making the grey area productive with self-improvement, new amazing things will come more quickly to us. Do your inner work. Leave what is too small. Be brave. Go into the grey and make your beautiful colours. Make your life extraordinary. Love, love, love your functioning selfish self. Now, as we know, we have a mantra every day. You'll have received this in your daily email. If you don't have your daily email, just type #help in the comments here and #replay if you're watching the replay. And then we will make sure the team gets the email to you. So the mantra for today is, when I refocus my thoughts, internal dialogue and actions onto myself, I start to rebuild my identity. So again, remember, set your alarm 3 times in the day. And this is your mantra for today to help you with the refocus work. And also, as you can see in this post in the comments above, post up your home play, the thoughts and comments here in the thread for day 2. So the questions I want you to ask yourself is, are you prepared to do the following consistently? To refocus your thoughts onto yourself, your conversations onto yourself, your actions onto yourself. Are you prepared to do that? Yes or no? The second question is, will you make focused effort, which means you're going to catch yourself when you're feeling yourself slipping, you know, away back into external control, when you're daydreaming about the past, telling yourself it really wasn't so bad, and instead you're going to redirect your thoughts to yourself. So you're going to make that focused effort, yes or no? And then the third question, which means you need to do a bit of work here. Knowing now that what others have is available to you when you're aligned with it, and there is enough for everyone, and what attracts your attention is an invitation for you to set an intention for it. So with all that said, what is it that attracts your attention and that which you wish to attract into your life? One thing. What's one thing that attracts your attention right now and that you wish to attract into your life? Let's focus on one thing, and I'd love you to share that as, you know, part of question 3 into the group. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you back in the group for day 3, which is tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Meanwhile, have a beautiful day, and I look forward to reading your comments in the day 2 post. Bye for now.